What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, and I'm done with this, and you should be too. And we're going to talk about what I'm talking about. There's so much happening right now, and I know that the sentiment for a lot of people is just hit an all-time low. And I'm just going to tell you right now, it shouldn't be. But what is this? This is giving me some stupid. Okay, well, I'll never go to your site again. Here's the truth, man. There's so much happening, and there's so much positive, powerful stuff happening in the market right now. And I feel like a lot of it is shadowed by the nefarious degenerates that are in the space, constantly creating new gimmicks and new trash to try and pull your money out of your hands. And listen, folks, the meme coin market was fun for a minute. It's fun in a bear market when there's nothing else happening. It's fun in a bear market when there's nobody doing much because they're all building and they're waiting until the next bull run to start making their major releases, their major announcements, all of that stuff. And, it's silly to me when I see how much money is being liquidated by, things like Solana projects. We'll just say that pump.fun, basically these projects, a lot of people that I see online, a lot of these pro Solana people, right? I'm seeing a lot of these major, Solana, influencers, if you will. And, they're watching, as I'm talking, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you some of what I'm talking about. How about that? Let me pull this up. My screen is almost too big. I might have to make this smaller. So this is Solana's price action right now on a daily candle. It's down about 45.5% since a big blow off top on January 19th. Now, here we are, it's February. We're February 19th, so this is basically 30 days. It's dropped 45.5% over 30 days. And I've been saying for I don't know how long now. I don't know how many years. Has it been years? Since I started telling people, enjoy it while it lasts. This is probably going to be Solana's last market cycle. And everybody's like, oh, you're such a hater. You're a Cardano guy. Of course you're going to say that. Why am I a Cardano guy, people? Why is it that Cardano has been the complete essence for blockchain to me since 2017? Why is that? It's because I've been basing my narratives and my interests in the cryptocurrency space, not on greed, not on just number go up, even though that's obviously always a factor when you're speculating. If I'm putting my money into something, I expect a return out. What drives that interest is the merit by which the project or what is being built and what I expect it to deliver to the world and myself is going to make that number go up. Not a bunch of wash trading and bots and trash and bullshit. Fake numbers, fake metrics, everything's fake. Your explorers are fake. Everything people try to do to read into what you're doing to try and make your atmosphere, your ecosystem more transparent, all thwarted by bad shit, bad code, everything about it is a smoke screen. And it's all one big narrative to try and perpetuate this machine that is going to pull money out of your pocket and put it in the hands of a very select few. And people that know that narrative and understand that as a concept, especially a lot of these pro-Solana influencers who buy into that, knowing and having faith that the system that has propelled the value of that token to the upside for them is going to be a machine that keeps on turning, whether it's through the means of a meme coin narrative or some other gimmicky bullshit nonsense that's going to help a lot of these manipulators drive the value of that token up for them. That is the entire Solana ecosystem, in my opinion. And a lot of people are now feeling that, and they're seeing that. They're starting to get burned, and they're saying, I'm done with this shit. It's about time. That's all I can tell you. It's about freaking time. We've been trying to tell you, DB Crypto and others that have kind of taken to this and really worked on trying to establish the reality of this narrative that so many people want to ignore in favor of what they think is going to benefit them. I believe Solana had its own bear market, bull market run. It has peaked and it's on its way down to non-existence. And I think that that transition is going to happen continuously as everything else in this video that I'm about to discuss happens. And I think that a lot of the liquidity in Solana is going to start spilling in to a lot of the projects that have been time tested and proven over years, as well as, of course, because you can't exit a VC-controlled shitcoin like Solana and then put it into legitimate projects you can't control. That wouldn't make any sense. What's the next thing? Sui, of course. Sui is basically just going to be the resurrection of Solana under a different name with different people, but backed by the same groups with probably a lot of the same narratives. And I'm not saying that Sui's tech is better or worse. I haven't even dove into Sui's tech all that much, but when I see the narrative basically rotating out of Solana into Sui, and I look into it a little bit more, and I'm like, of course, this makes all the sense in the world. Of course, this is where the money's going to start flowing into, because it's basically like changing your dirty clothes into a new outfit and reinventing yourself. And that's the way I look at it. Is Sui likely going to do pretty well in this bull market? Probably. Might do well for the next couple, because it's going to replace Solana. And all of these narratives associated with Solana, they're going to be different with Sui, because so much money has been made and so much has been learned that you're not going to be able to fool the same people twice with the same bullshit. Everybody's onto it. We're wiser. This is the way the cryptocurrency market has evolved over time. People are starting to learn. And a lot of the degens that have been in the space speculating on these meme coins that are controlled by a handful of people, rinsing and repeating the same recipe as the insanity of the people that continue buying in, expecting to get rich off of this bullshit lottery. And as they continue losing more and more money, it's absolutely mind-blowing to me. Folks, it's time to focus on legitimate projects in the crypto space. That's all there is to it. Not doing that means you're very likely going to just end up getting wrecked and making a lot of these wealthy people who are doing exceedingly well off of your greed and your ignorance continuing to make money off of your back. How much longer are you going to be willing to allow yourself to be susceptible to this trash because you expect a heyday, a windfall, something that's probably not going to happen? Now, I personally, I want everyone in crypto to do well. To this day, Cardano's never given me shit. I think, and I've been a proponent of Cardano since 2017. They've never given me anything. Nobody's ever really done much of anything for me. I've had Charles on the channel a few times. Cool, that's always fun. But like, nobody's basically sending me money under the table, right? Like nobody's saying, hey, Crow, we're going to send you a bunch of ADA if you do this or you do that. Or, well, we're not going to tell you what to say, but here's a bunch of ADA on the side. Do with it as you will. They've never done anything like that. How many of these Solana influencers can say the same thing? Now, am I a proponent of Solana? No, I'm absolutely not. Would I be if they paid me? No, absolutely not. That's not what I'm doing here. But if you look at some of these pro-Solana people who are watching the demolition of their blockchain happening before their eyes, and they're kind of like choked. I've watched them, and I don't even name names here, but I'm watching some of these guys, and they're trying so hard to sell you on the smelliest turd in crypto and trying to give you hope that it's going to come back, that it's going to do better, that now's the time to buy. Why is it the time for you to buy this shitcoin that's crashing so hard in the midst of all of the fiascos that are bringing it down? Because they want you to eat up everybody that's dumping. They want you to be the exit liquidity for a dying chain that is built on fundamentally bullshit metrics that don't exist for anybody but the people that make it up and write it down on paper. That's my opinion. I shouldn't even have to say my opinion because it is my opinion, but the numbers have been spilled all over X. They've been spilled all over YouTube. This isn't anything. This isn't a narrative that's being made up by just Solana haters, folks. This is just the reality of this blockchain in particular. And all of the practices that they've utilized, in my opinion, are terrible and what they've done to try and achieve this narrative. But, you know, the point that I'm trying to make in all of this is whether it's Solana and quite frankly, any other blockchain, I don't even give a shit if it's a Cardano meme coin. Folks, it's time to pull your heads out of your ass and start focusing on real technology that's going to help people. I get that there are some projects like Snek and Hosky, and there's a couple of meme coins on the Cardano blockchain that are like community-driven, fun, lighthearted, actual meme coins. But the idea of throwing $100 constantly into a bot that you expect is going to catch one of these meme coins that takes you to the moon and allows you to sell it for $3 million by like brunch, it's not going to happen. You're just throwing money into the hands of people that are sucking it up like hungry hippos. And there's a difference between that meme coin mentality, this meme coin lottery, this slot machine, if you will, that basically the house always wins. You're not going to get shit. Okay, let's just be real about it. Very, very few people actually win in that market. And like buying something that's more of a collectible, a memento, a kind of a, you know, it's almost like we have mascots. And that's the way I look at like Snack and Hosky and some of these other meme coins in the space, even Crow Token. Like I look at them as like mascots for the blockchain they represent. That to me is different because nobody's necessarily buying these meme coins solely because they expect to make $1 million by Monday morning when they bought it on Friday night. People are of course speculating on the value of these tokens, but there's a different air altogether. There's a different mentality associated with them. So that's that. Like, and there are other meme coins on other chains that I'm sure are fine. It's not necessarily the idea of, you know, like if I buy a commemorative coin, I'm not necessarily buying it because I'm expecting the value of it to skyrocket tomorrow. I'm buying it because it's a reflection of either a time period, a historical event, maybe a president that I really liked, whatever the case may be. And that's the way I look at some of these meme coins in the space. But this degenerate garbage where there's like 1 million or 3 million meme coins launching a day for the sole purpose of just pulling money out of your pocket because you're desperate or you're just trying to make a quick buck hoping that you catch a lucky windfall. It's not going to happen. It's time to let it go. It's time to focus on some new things. So that being said, let's dive more into what this video is ultimately about. I just wanted to rant for a minute and get it out. I haven't done a video and I haven't done a video all week. I've been working with a lot of AI stuff. And so yeah, now here's some interesting news that some of you are going to actually get a kick out of. So Elon Musk has publicly discussed the possibility of issuing a DOGE dividend, proposing a $5,000 tax refund check to every American taxpayer. This refund would be funded from savings from the government efficiencies identified by DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. While Elon Musk has confirmed talks with President Trump on this matter, the proposal remains in discussion stages without official commitment from the government. So basically, a total savings of $55 billion in counting, number of contracts they've canceled, over 1,100. Two of their size of government figures, total government headcount and total wages, 2.5 million workers, $211 billion worth of wages have been cut. Basically, the idea here is that they expect to cut like $1 trillion out of all of the wasteful spending of the current U.S. government. A lot of it going to like pork and a bunch of garbage and a lot of like kickback stuff that's fueling these politicians' careers. They're talking about going in and investigating these politicians and trying to figure out how does somebody who makes $180,000 a year end up with a $200 million net worth, you know, in a career. It doesn't make any sense, right? And so they're basically looking at maybe doing a $5,000 tax credit. For me, I'm like, you know what? I got screwed so hard that like $5,000 doesn't help me much. But, I mean, it'll help. I'll put it into something. But the overall gist here is this: if every American ended up getting a check for $5,000 in a bull market, what do you think could happen? Because I forget what the total figures are, but it's 400 billion. Hold on. Yeah. So this plan would send 79 million households a total of $400 billion, which is 20% of DOGE's protect. Now, here's the thing about this. Let's just say that this happened, okay? And obviously this isn't going to be the case because there are a lot of people that are going to take that check, run straight to Walmart, or they're going to go and they're going to blow it on the dumbest shit on earth. But there's going to be a percentage of these people, even if it were just $100 billion, let's just say $100 billion got distributed amongst like the top 10, top 50, crypto projects. How much do you think that'll actually affect market cap of those projects? Because this is the thing. A lot of people assume that, if a cryptocurrency has a market cap of $1 billion, that there's $1 billion worth of money in that project. That's not the case, right? That's not the case. I forget what the overall metric is, but I think it's like for every $50,000 into an asset, it moves the market cap by around $1 million or something to that effect. I can't remember. Don't quote me. I've done videos on it in the past. I always joke. I've forgotten more stuff in crypto than most people are going to learn in their career. I don't even remember how that all works. I've done videos calculating it all out. You guys will probably remember better than I do. I've got old man memory. So, a Big Pay, what's going on, man? Welcome, dude. I haven't seen you in a while. And so I think this could be a really, really big deal, quite frankly, for the cryptocurrency space overall, especially given we're in a bull market. There's a lot of stuff happening. So let's take a look at where we're at in the market cycle. Okay. This is Bitcoin's dominance. And this is Bitcoin's dominance, as it were, back in January of 2021. Okay. Now, this was after a run up. Okay, pretty significant run up. Now, granted, these market cycles change quite a bit. But if we had a bottom back in September of 2020, it rose, Bitcoin's dominance rose 29% before it peaked out around 73, 74%. And I believe we've already peaked out. I posted it on Twitter. I'm like, we already peaked. I posted it a little late because the peak already happened. I think we peaked out around 64%. That's 10% lower than last market cycle. Well, why did that happen? Well, because a lot of money's tied up in this meme coin trash. And, and I just don't think Bitcoin had the means of climbing that much. But we went all the way up here. Okay. So Bitcoin's dominance rose, it peaked out all the way up here, which basically means that was an 18% climb. Okay. It pumped 18% back here. Where were we? That was a 29% climb to that peak. So not as big, about half, but we've already started to move down. Not only was this just a wick to the upside, I could probably make this a little bigger for you guys. I'm not sure how big things need to be for you guys to see them on the way I'm streaming, but basically I think we peaked out this time around 65%, and we started to work our way down. We got a rejection up here, and we started to work down further, and it's just basically going to continue working its way down, I believe. And what happened was when we peaked out, over the course a period of time, we dropped 47% in Bitcoin's dominance. We're nowhere near there. This is what effectively fueled the market. This is over a period. Where do we first bottom out here? This is a period of about 136 days. So if we were to take this and spread this out, I'm curious where this puts us. I love playing with these numbers. So if we peaked out here and then we go 136 days, roughly, I'm not expecting this to happen, but But if we were to do something similar over 136 days, this would take us to around June of 2025. April, May, June. Wow, why is that interesting? Well, because if I think about Cardano and where Cardano's at, and with what it's got brewing for May, which May is this period right around here. Let's see here. Where do we start May? May starts right here. So from May to this point, if this were the entire, if Bitcoin's dominance just plunges over this time period here, and then you've got Cardano becoming a smart contract layer for Bitcoin. Not only that, but then you've got likely Midnight launching that's going to become kind of a privacy layer for both of them. Not to mention other blockchains like XRP and other things, right? This could be a huge time period. Just this from here to here. You're talking about a month or so, couple months that basically is spilling into Cardano, and for a multitude of reasons. Cardano is going to absolutely go ape shit on this market once these things launch. Bitcoin OS and IOHK's version of Bitcoin OS. When all of this stuff comes to fruition and we start seeing that transition, the liquidity that is Bitcoin flowing into Cardano is absolutely going to rip faces. And for everybody that is sick of Solana and they're watching Solana die right before their eyes, many of these people are exiting Solana and they're entering Cardano. We're seeing a lot of people finally open their eyes to what Cardano means to the general marketplace. And it's a really big deal. I'm absolutely bullish on what's to come. There's some other things I'm going to show you here too, but real quick, this is Merlin, merlincrypto.com. There's a link in the description below. Make sure you check it. If you're looking for a portfolio that keeps track of your all of your crypto, the ups and downs, news, and other tidbits related to your assets, make sure you check this out. It's a pretty slick crypto asset management, you name it. You plug in your API. Well, they have APIs for everything out there. You can plug in your wallet. It sucks in all the assets in that wallet and it keeps track of everything for you. And I mean, it's informative, man. There's a lot of cool stuff associated with this. And if having something like this helps you, why not give it a shot? That's the best thing. They're a sponsor of my channel. And yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of basic. What I do for my assets is a little different than most, cause I'm scared. I'm always worried about, people getting into stuff. This is just kind of what like a play wallet, with a little bit on it just to kind of show it for example purposes. But yeah, I mean, check it out. If you're into this sort of thing and something that kind of helps you keep track of all of your assets in one place. Maybe you've got 15 different wallets out there. Maybe you've got assets on multiple exchanges. This will consolidate everything into one place so you can keep track of all of it all at once. And if I wasn't a YouTuber, I would probably be using something like Merlin personally to keep track of everything. And so yeah, they're a sponsor, and thank you. Also check out Legacy Network .io. This is a gamified app that you can use to basically learn about all kinds of stuff, and there is a token associated with it. It's the LGCT token. You can pick that up in a few different places right now. But basically, if you're trying to learn about different things in life or science or business or sales or whatever, this is definitely an app that you're going to want to give a shot. I'd love to know how many of you have checked it out. But let's say you want to learn more about career. Well, there are courses in here about having a business mindset, goal setting and vision building. This is a big deal for me. Goal setting and vision building is really big. Emotional intelligence, emotional damage in business. That's a good one. The legacy of time. This is actually extremely important. This was pivotal in the mortgage industry, just keeping track of your time, scheduling things properly, making the most effective use of your time. Articulate ventures, building teams that drive business success. There's stuff about relationships, workplace relationships, you name it, man. I mean, there's so much stuff in here. It's very helpful. And, you know what? The app itself is free. There are certain things that you can do in the app that you're going to be able to use your tokens for. But this is a gamified system, man. And I encourage you guys to check it out. And yeah, so check it out, see what you guys think. They are a sponsor of my channel. I greatly appreciate them. They've been supporting me on a monthly basis now for a couple months, and hopefully you guys are getting something out of using these apps. It's a gamified system, so check it out. Now, this is Cardano, and Cardano's currently sitting at around, it basically wicked bound down to about 73 cents. Cardano's waiting, man. I believe that this is loading. I think this is loading up. It's getting ready to start making some big splashes. We're here on February 19th, and I think a lot is getting ready to start kicking off, quite frankly. This is Cardano against Ethereum. We had a big rally with Cardano against Ethereum's value. This started back in November, came down, worked back up, came down. I mean, it's just playing a little game, but I do believe that this is going to start taking off as well. Cardano's value against Ethereum is going to absolutely skyrocket. What's funny is you see this little dip here. This is on a daily candle, and you can see this real big dip with lots of volume on the day. This was February 3rd. Very interesting. I don't know why this happened. I can't remember specifically to the date why that took place, but I do find it interesting. Now, this is why a lot of you folks need to calm the hell down, okay? I mean, because really it's getting silly. These blue lines here are the halving marks, okay? So the blue lines are the halving, the green vertical lines are the peaks of the market. So back here in 2012, moving into the 2013 bull market, into that bull market peak, we had 364 days from the halving to the peak. If we look at that same time frame in November, it was about 518 days. It's crazy how the 2017 market was so powerful, man. Like we didn't realize what we had in that market cycle, but it was 518 days from the peak. Now, if we look at the 2021 market cycle, you had the halving here, 546 days to the second peak of the market. Okay. To the first peak, that was about 343 days. So I find that interesting because that was a shorter period than even the market back in 2013. So it's like this market was basically cut in two peaks, like I've always said. And I posted something on Twitter a lot of people were really pissed about, because I was basically showing how the NASDAQ if you take a look at the NASDAQ charts from 1996 and you overlap that to Bitcoin's price action, it's almost like if you take NASDAQ from 96 to present day, you condense it into this market, into the Bitcoin market. It's basically like taking the NASDAQ's growth over time and cutting it into a third and creating that as a market system for Bitcoin. And it's very interesting. So, and I'm very curious to see how it continues to play out over the period of 2025, because if we're going to be like the NASDAQ does continue to play out, we are going to effectively be in a super cycle heading through, 2026 into 2030 and on, probably for the next decade. I've talked about that in previous videos. I'm hoping that we get a big pump. I think we're going to, but if you take 504 days, if I just average this out, 504 days takes us to like September of 2025. Okay. Keep in mind, these are weekly candles here. They look really tiny, but every one of these candles is a week. So, and then you've got the pi cycle indicator here. We've got a ways to go. If you look, it looks like they're getting close. But it's interesting because if you look at the time period over 2020, they were super close. Okay. These were super close. So we've got some time. So, like the first one, these crossed over on April 13th. I called that on Twitter and everybody basically flamed me and said I was nuts, that, I'm trying to FUD the market, blah, blah, blah. I was like, the market peaked. And then the same afternoon, I was like, but this is probably going to be a 2-peak market. And, it's like now people are referencing it. People are talking about it more now than they did then, which I find interesting. But we've got time, folks. We've got plenty of time. There's a lot that's going to be happening over the coming few months. And I just think people need to relax. The market isn't over. The altcoin market isn't over. You can just chill out. you can just chill out. I do think that this market is a little bit different because it's obvious that the institutions are manipulating the price action to kind of suppress prices a bit. And, they're just trying to make sure that they get their entry. Quite frankly, it would not shock me if we don't really start seeing a significant uptrend in Bitcoin's price again until all of the over-the-counter Bitcoin is gone. And so it's just a matter of continuing to get, and here's the thing, we're looking at it, we're saying, oh, the institutions, they're doing this, they're doing that. Yeah, they are. But the more people that are buying in to Bitcoin, and soon probably Cardano and other assets after these other spot ETFs launch, the more people that want the Bitcoins and they want them in their 401ks and they want them in their IRAs and they want to, they're buying them through these institutions. Then these institutions are going out and buying them at spot. And, there's another note that I want to make here too. And it's, a lot of people who, there are so many people in the space, whether it's on YouTube or elsewhere, that they want to turn you into degenerates. Okay. That's all there is to it. I have an exchange sponsor right now, BitUnix. There's a link down below, but I would tell you to never trade more leverage than 3x, plain and simple. It's the safest out there. If you want to leverage more assets than you actually own, that's fine. I get it, but I wouldn't do more than 3x. I'm in a long right now that I entered at like 106,000, and I'm pretty sure my liquidation price is somewhere in the 60s. Do we go there? I don't know. I hope not. But the likelihood that we do is pretty low. And, I'll show you what's happening on a liquidation chart right now. Where is it? So if we look at the liquidations on a weekly candle, it's all getting concentrated here around 97.2. And then we've got more at 99.5. Okay. We've already chewed through all of this when the price came all the way down to 93,000. It's very light down here. It's getting much lighter. And if we look at how much is being liquidated, listen, in 1 hour, 7 million was wrecked. 4 hour, 25 million. 24-hour chart, $144 million. These are all people getting liquidated. The majority of it are shorts. People that have been going short. And, that's just fine. But over the last 24 hours, $90 million worth of shorts have been liquidated. And I think people are wisening up. People are getting a little bit smarter. And I think people are just, they're going to chill out. But the point that I'm making is that some of you guys that are getting into the crypto space, you're watching different YouTubers and you're trying to figure out, man, I've only got like $1,000. How am I going to change my life with $1,000? Especially if you're getting into more risk averse assets like Bitcoin or Cardano, right? And you're like, man, I really want to change my life, but I'm not going to be able to do that. If Cardano only gets to $8, my $1,000 is only $8,000. That's going to pay my mortgage for like a few months. That's not been, it's not worth it. So then you start getting the idea that you're going to go and you're going to set up a leverage trading account, and then you're going to risk it all at some 25 or 50x leverage trade. Listen, stop it. Stop it. You have to get out of this mentality. Okay. You're better off averaging in. Let's just say maybe you don't change your life this year. Maybe it's not this market cycle, but what you're doing now is going to echo through 2030. So maybe you just you say, you know what? I'm not going to try and take $1,000 and change my life and degen into some asset that's going to rug pull on me or liquidate me or just basically dump all over me because I'm trying to make a desperate move by buying some pet rock that's not going to do anything, or I'm going to do a 50x leverage trade, expecting that I'm going to, get some windfall trade that's going to go my way. No. You are the epitome of the individual that these types of things prey on. You're better off looking at the 2030 market cycle and doing everything you can to start preparing for that now. Why? Let's just say hypothetically you have that $1,000 Maybe you buy some Bitcoin, you buy some Cardano, maybe you buy a little SNEC coin, maybe some IAG, some, I don't know, some Kopi token, because I'm sure that by the 2030 market, Kopi's going to probably start doing something. I'm sure it's going to go up some this cycle too, but it's just been so stagnant for so long. I'm a big believer in Kopi, don't get me wrong. I've got tokens. I love everything that they're doing. It's just such a long-term play, right? And until people are able to like dive in and play the game and build and do all the crazy stuff that will ultimately be coming to Kopi, I just think, the sentiment isn't there yet. It's going to get there. Maybe it happens this year. I don't know. But there are a lot of assets that I believe are going to continue being very, very prominent and very, very powerful long-term plays into the 2030 market. Start averaging in now. And if you start noticing, in May, June, July, all the way up to maybe September even, if that $1,000 becomes $10,000 and you think we're getting somewhere close to the peak, take some profit, yo. It's okay. Maybe you're not going to get rich. You're not going to go buy that Lambo after that $1,000 investment. But if you're playing it smart, you turn that 1,000 into 10,000, you wait for the market to drop, and maybe over the course of 6 months or the next year, you find that bottom. Now that 10 grand has the potential of becoming $500,000 by the 2030 peak. Okay. And in addition to that, you're taking that 10 grand that you just flipped real quick. It's not life-changing money, but it's planting that seed. And then you're averaging in. You're averaging in as you can from the bottom. Okay. And then let's look, how old are you? 23? 24, 25? I'm 47. I'm old as shit, and I've been doing this now since 2017. You have to start somewhere, and you can't make greedy decisions and greedy moves because you're trying to change your world tomorrow. That is where the people that control a lot of the things that are going to interest you the most lie. That is where they sit, waiting for you to just walk along by yourself, not, just kind of willy-nilly, not having a clue what's going on. You just got a little money in your pocket, and you're not sure where to put it, and you just want to change your life tomorrow. And they've got all the flashy lights, and they've got, all of this cool stuff. They've got these influencers that are on payroll, or they're incentivized in some way to, draw your attention over here, and then they snag you. And that's exactly how the market is played in crypto. And people are learning, but if you're new to the space, you need to focus on establishing yourself in a more long-term based foundation, man. Stop being such a degenerate. Stay away from the meme coin market. If it has to do with Solana, chances are it's not good, some way, shape, or form. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And there are just better ways and better plays and better things you can be doing with your money in a more educated way that will benefit you long term. And that's really what it boils down to, man. You guys and gals, those of you that are new, you got to stay away from the meme coin cycles. It's time. It's time to let them go. You're not going to get rich off of them anymore. They've become so convoluted with trash and gimmicky crap. And it's all automated by bots now anyway. Why do you think they're rinsing and repeating every 15 minutes now instead of every 5 days or 5 weeks or 5 months, right? We know what the staple meme coins of the markets are, okay? They've been around for a while. And those are the ones that probably deserve a little bit more attention if you're going to be buying meme tokens. So anyway, that's it. I don't even want to make this video any longer. It's been a while since I've done anything. I've got so much that I'm working on in terms with AI. I'm learning some amazing shit, man. There's some software out there that I might show you guys eventually once I've built something really, really solid, and I'll show you guys how to use it because I've just been learning. I built 2 full stack websites last night. and then I deleted them. That's how easy it was. You know, I spent 6 figures building Soblox. I could probably rebuild it right now with a better user interface in a matter of 4 or 5 hours. And it cost, I mean, I spent 6 figures building that. I feel like I was completely played, if I'm honest, because he just took the money and ran. And, you know, and I'm like, you know what? Part of me is wondering, is it worth rebuilding something like Soblox, but better with more functions and more features? I might be able to do it on my own. I mean, I almost did last night, honestly. So, you know, we'll see. I'm looking for ideas. I want to build a few different platforms, and I would love to get a couple like software as a service platforms launched. But I don't want to just do anything for the sake of doing it. I want to do stuff that is really going to be sought after. Like, even if it's niche, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you got all the way to the end of this video, let me know what doesn't exist that you feel I should try to build and make happen, bring to reality. I could use some help, because I'm trying to rack my brain, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to be beneficial to people. I thought about maybe just doing like somebody in my Telegram group said, well, why don't you build a new search engine that's strictly for blockchain based stuff? And I'm like, that could be interesting. I don't know how many, like, that could be interesting. And then, you know, with that, maybe have like wallet management, you know, or not wallet management, but like a portfolio system in there, and maybe like an NFT display so that everybody has a profile on the search engine. So it's almost like it's like a search engine / social media platform, but there are other things that you're able to accomplish on it. So it's, yeah, I mean, that could be an idea. Big Pay made it to the end. There is zero chill when Jason rants until it's over. Hey, well, you know what? I got another question for you guys. What would you guys say if I grew my hair long? I've actually been thinking about it. I've actually been thinking about growing it a little longer and then growing my beard out a little bit, and just kind of like, I don't know, trying to mask my age a little bit with a little more hair. Maybe something I could pull back if I need to, if I'm like rolling jujitsu or something. I don't know, man. I'm tired of getting my hair cut all the time. Honestly, I'm so busy, and it's like, I'm at a point now where I go maybe every 2 weeks, probably every 3. And it just gets so like all over, and I don't know, I'm thinking about growing it long and seeing what that looks like. Actually, my wife and I are watching this show called The Lioness. It's on Paramount Plus. So good. If you ever, I didn't know anything about it, and I remember the gal that's in that, she's kind of the lead of the team, and she was in Colombiana, and I'm like, wow, she was amazing in that movie, and I haven't really seen her do a whole lot since then. But this show, Lioness, there's 2 seasons. We're watching this show like, damn, the show is good. It just sucks you in. First episode, you're like in it. And but anyway, there's a guy, I think he's like a CIA guy, and he's got kind of the hairstyle and the beard I'm thinking about. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, because I was talking about it to my wife, and I'm like, that's exactly the look I'm talking about. Mine will be more gray. She was like, do it, babe, do it. I'm like, I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, that's it for today, folks. This 42 minutes. I don't know, hopefully this helps somehow, someone somewhere. I kind of winged it today. Crypto Chef, I loved it. I think I finished it in a weekend. Yeah, dude, it's such a great show, man. I think we're on episode like 3 or 4. No, we might be on 4 or 5 already, because we're trying to not watch more than 2 episodes in a night. So, and it's difficult. So anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I'm the Crypto Crow. Until next time, grow your coins, and I'll see you soon.